Hi, it's Nancy. So today we're going to transplant some things that have been sitting in the pots for a little while. I think some rosemary, there's some lychees in there that are actually coming up that we're going to transplant. All right, here's what's going in other pots. We've got some rosemary that's looking pretty good there, some chamomile. I'm going to get the rosemary out of there, and I just stuck that basil in there. I don't know if it's actually going to go. This dill, I didn't like the way those turned out in the jars because there really is no drainage in there. So I'm going to take those out and put them in a pot too. There's some lychees growing there. There's one, and there's two, three. We're going to put them in bigger pots as well. These aren't looking so great. It's my safflowers right there, and that's my St. John's wort. I think that's what it is, definitely, yeah. And I'm going to put those in bigger pots as well. The other stuff we're going to do is I'm going to put these in the bags. These were the leftover miscellaneous, plants I could not give away. So we've got some cherry tomatoes, the butterbush squash. They're looking okay. This one's actually looking pretty darn good. That one not so much. I'm going to put it in there anyway. We've got a pink oxheart. We've got a vintage wine. This one's the peace vine cherry, which are cherry tomatoes. The Warrocoa highs look pretty decent. Let's see, there's another peace vine cherry, which is, a cherry tomato. Gardener's Delight is another cherry tomato. Grappios, which looks pretty good. They make about a medium-sized red tomato. We really liked those last year. That tomatillo plant is going pretty well. We had the tomatillo plants in containers last year, and they got very, very small, so we put them in the ground this year. Hopefully they'll get a little bit bigger. And there's a big rainbow right there. A couple bean plants. Yeah, this is the stuff that's going to go into bags. Some rearranging. I got all the cayenne peppers in one area. Lots of cayenne peppers. There's a carnival pepper there. There's a California pepper. It's more cayenne, but there's carnivals. I think those are California peppers. They're going to be really pretty. Those back there, those 5 tomato plants right there, I have no idea what tomatoes they are. They look pretty decent. Those are the ones, if you recall, that I planted in the cans to do the pepper in the can challenge, and they were actually tomato seeds. Okay, so I've planted one of the rosemaries in there. This will get to be fairly decent size. We may be able to leave this in this pot for its lifetime. Here's another one. Rosemary is really hard to grow from seed. That's why when I get them growing, I'm like, ooh, I really want to put them in the pots. They've been in the squares for a while, so I'm just taking them and putting them in bigger pots. I will water these all after I've done them. My neighbor is doing his trimming all of a sudden. I apologize for that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do all these rosemary right over here into pots. Last year I did not do so well with rosemary, so I decided I wanted to do a lot of rosemary this time. Okay, just a word about the potting mix we're using. We're using a different one this time around. Looks pretty good. Everything's been going well. Next up is going to be the safflower. Okay, here we are doing the safflowers. Now, I had put 2 in each, but I ended up with some smaller pots, so I needed to just separate them. They're 2 very, very good looking safflowers. What I'm doing is I'm clipping off the dead leaves, and they're only like that because, oops, you can't really see. They're only like that because I left them in the little square thingies too long. So had I not done that, these leaves would not be being trimmed off. But what the deal is that I've got to separate these 2. So I basically very gently kind of just roll it around a little bit just to see how we can do. These have some serious roots on them. Again, I left them too long in there, and I ended up, okay. Gosh, I feel like I'm just hurting them, but I get them in good, and down deep, down, press them down nicely. I will get some more soil to put around them so they will stay up properly. There you go. And I push them down. And just hope for the best with it. Here, we'll do this one too, so you guys can see. I just, you know, dig that hole down there. Yeah, I wish I had nice nails, but gardening time does not allow me to have nice nails by any means. So, I try, but you know, dirt gets everywhere. Not that my nails don't get long, they get long, but they also get dirty. Okay, and this is what I do with them. Now we'll see. I am fully aware that safflowers do not belong in containers, but I have nowhere around here to put them in the ground. So they'll end up being small, but they will end up being kind of pretty, and you can use those, the little orange thingies there. It's very similar to saffron, but not saffron. And here we are going on to the St. John's wort. Again, I am aware that the St. John's wort should not be in containers, but since we have such a limited backyard, I'm going to try them in containers to see what's happened. I have never been able to grow St. John's wort even when it was in the ground and I tried. So here you go. The other thing is I know you're going to say something about these. I save all of these. I've saved them for a very, very long time. We do not buy plants that are grown unless we get to mid-season and something that we really, really wanted did not grow, and we will go and buy it. That happens sometimes when we get hummus and strawberries and whatnot, but we buy from seed. These containers they're probably all 10 years old. When we first started our gardening adventure, we would buy plants that were already grown, and then now we just grow everything from seed. So what I do, St. John's wort, same thing. This is a little different with this one. Look at the roots. Again, they are left in here way too long, completely my fault for doing that. And if I pull gently enough, I think, yep, there they go. So, and then it just goes in. And I will make room in each one of these for each one of the St. John's wort that is in there. Got some serious roots on them. I don't know, again, I don't know how these are gonna go, but we're gonna try them. They are not happy where they are right now, and hopefully these little bit bigger containers will kind of give them a little bit more of an oomph to go. It's going to be nice to see if I can actually grow this St. John's wort. Put the last one in here. This last one's a little tough because they're a little small. Kind of going to dump it out. I'm not so sure about that particular one. Okay, all right then. And here we go. These are the final planted versions of everything. Not necessarily final. This row is the safflower. Here's St. John's wort. That little one that I attempted to put in before, it just didn't make it. It fell all apart and everything. And these are my two sunflowers. Those will go somewhere in the ground. I'm thinking somewhere over here behind the raspberries, but I'm not entirely sure. Maybe somewhere in here because the raspberries didn't really grow right in here. Yes. Looking good. Alrighty, and here we go. We've got some oregano planted. I'm going to probably give most of that to Hannah if it comes up. Not sure yet. Here's some sage, some dill. This is a little violet plant that I just pulled out of the ground and stuck it in there. Let's see if it'll grow. Here is our basil, mammoth basil, or basil. And there's my fenugreek, which I'm going to get to tomorrow. Doesn't look like I'm going to get to doing the cuttings and trying to get them to root. I'm probably going to get to that tomorrow. My day just got away from me. All right, everybody. I guess that's going to do it for us this time. Have a good night, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright, so an update. Today is the next day, and I didn't get all that I wanted to get done yesterday, but I managed to get it done this morning. Here are the tomatoes in the respective bags. I don't know if they're going to do it, but they're out here. This is the first time I've basically put our miscellaneous tomatoes in the front of the house. That is just one big old mess. It used to be a lilac tree that I managed to kill when I pruned it. Oh well. Over here I did put another tomato plant, and instead of putting those butterbush beans in containers, because I really didn't have any place to put them, I put them in the ground here. They're going to vine out. These are bush beans right here, and that tomato plant's not going to have any bearing on it whatsoever. So we're going to see if they're going to do okay. I'm not sure if I showed you, but there's my beans, and they're looking good. This is an abomination. I don't know what to do about it. I'm gonna have to figure that out. The people who lived here before us managed to fill everything with rocks. So just under the soil, all you're hitting are rocks. So I did get everything done that I said I was going to get done. I did not get to my cuttings, which I really wanted to do, but I'll probably do those sometime this week. It was a really cool video about grafting and putting and taking pieces off plants and just rooting them. So, you know, I'm up for a challenge. So that is that. I will definitely get more to you by the end of the week. I was out of town for a little while, so I didn't get to this as quickly as I wanted. But I'll keep you posted on what's going on. And that's about it. Have a great day, and don't forget to like and subscribe.